Right.
When they made that decision to integrate, they had to implement a set of conscious policies to overcome the whole list of factors that you said were preventing large numbers of Black or Latino students from coming, correct?
Appropriate to that time.
Okay, appropriate to that time. And you said that included in those conscious policies was understanding that a Black or Latino student with a lower standardized test score might still deserved to come to a UC or a UCLA because there were several factors that might have gone into the attainment of that lower test score. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And these policies that I would describe as being affirmative action policies, you would agree are affirmative action policies. Is that correct?
I would agree that some of those are affirmative action policies. I'm not sure that assessing the effect of the standardized test score is affirmative action as much as it is looking at what is sound educational policy.
And when you say looking at sound educational policy, what do you mean by that?
I don't think that it necessarily follows that in order to build a world-class university that you have to place an over-reliance on a standardized test. That to me is placing an over-reliance on it is unsound educational policy.
Okay. Let's say you were a Black student and you graduated from UCLA with a 3.5 grade point average, and you were a Black student and you went to the school that I actually went to for law school, Wayne State University, which you may or may not have heard of.
I've heard of.
You would agree that your chances of going to a law school would be significantly improved if you had graduated from UCLA.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And Mr. Connerly, are you aware of a book called The Shape of the River?
Yeah, Derek Bach and Bowen and Bach, yeah.
And you've read the book?
I've wandered through the river quite a bit.
Okay, good. And isn't it true that whatever race you are, if you go to University of California, Berkeley, or UCLA, the degree that you obtain is more valuable in terms of the income level upon graduation, if you look at students in the aggregate?
Ms. Driver, I'm not sure about that. I know that UCLA and UC Berkeley would say that, but I'm not so sure about that. I went to a community college and to Sac State, not household names at all. I know so many other people, very successful people, who did not go to a brand name, whose incomes are every bit as large, if not larger, than a lot of those who went to the brand name. So this is one of those things that I've noodled over a long time, and I'm just not so sure that that's a valid premise.
But we could, and I understand what you're saying, that in a particular individual case, there might be somebody who went to Sac State and makes, a lot of money, and somebody who graduated from University of California, Berkeley, and they're currently homeless. And so you could, there are those kind of anecdotes out there. But there are ways to attain scientific data to tell us if a University of California, Berkeley degree is more valuable in the aggregate than a degree from another university. You would agree that there is scientific ways to make that determination?
I think that there are survey techniques that would allow one to conclude that your chances of being hired on that first job are greater if you walk in and say, I graduated from Harvard, than I graduated from Sac State. Bless you. I think that. But beyond that first job, it has been my experience, and I've served on a lot of boards, including the State California Chamber of Commerce. Beyond that first job, I'm not sure that it matters.
And a first job can make a huge difference, can it not?
It may if you handle it right.
Okay. And so if you have, would you agree that if you graduated from a selective university and they were businesses or courts to be clerks for a judge or whatnot, and they only sent representatives to selective universities, that you'd have a better chance of being hired if you went to one of them?
I agree with that.
And so that could give you a big leg up. Is that correct?
On that first job?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.